Red flags that you shouldn't ignore in a relationship. Relationships are meant to be healthy, strong, loving, nurturing, and equal. But sometimes there can be these red flags, these warning signs that something's not quite right. And in this video, I want us to explore exactly what could be those warning signs. So let's get on with it. If you're new to my channel, then welcome. This is my place where I get to support the mental health of other people and by kind of promoting good mental health for you to be the best version that you can be. If you're new, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and then you and me, we can see one another again. So what is a red flag? When it comes to relationships, these are the kind of the warning signs, the early indicators that something's not quite right. But what can happen is when we're falling in love with somebody, and whether that's LUV love or LOVE love, is that we can just get head over heels and we can ignore them, or we can choose not to see them. But the thing is though, it doesn't mean that they go away, it just means that we're not paying attention to them. When actually they're there for a reason and they're telling us, they're letting us know that something's not quite right. When it comes to a relationship, the early days of when you're recognizing these warning signs are the most important, because if not, then you're just fooling that person and you're just kind of fooling yourself, and maybe they're falling deeper in love with you than you want them to. So actually, what are those red flags? What are those warning signs? So then you can become more aware of them. Let's just remind ourselves though, a healthy relationship is where it's equal. Both people are equal in that relationship, and that the foundations for that relationship is trust and respect and boundaries. And with that, you're both wanting the best for one another. So let's just make sure that we've always got that in our mind of what is a healthy, loving relationship. The red flags that I want you to become aware of. The first one could be excessive jealousy. Now, we know that a relationship is fundamentally one of the most important things is built on trust, because for example, you're going to be apart, and I hope you are. I hope you have those moments where you're apart, but you need to trust one another. If that person that you're dating is just so jealous about where you're at, who you're with, what you're doing, and the constant need to know, then that could possibly indicate, more than likely, that actually the real reason is that they don't trust you, or that they just don't have the capacity to trust somebody. So yeah, just be aware of that one. My next red flag is about maybe having a difference in values. We all know that we have our own personal values: kind, loving, caring, friendly, funny. But actually, even though it's good to have different personalities, because in a relationship you're both unique, you're both individual, it's just making sure that that person has the same values as you. So if you're somebody that is really kind to the environment, maybe if you started dating somebody that is constantly throwing litter, then maybe that's a really good indicator that your values aren't in alignment. So it's just about recognizing that you're bringing out the best in one another, and that together you have the kind of, you want to motivate one another and bring out the best in one another as well. Another red flag, and this is quite a biggie, is controlling behaviour, where the partner just slowly starts to have or think that they have more control over you. And that's where they may be telling you where to go, where you can't go, who to hang around with, who you can't hang around with, what to wear, what time to be back by. They might even try and possibly control you so then you're not hanging around with your friends or with certain people. And this is a big red flag for you to pay attention to. Another red flag is if that particular person is being secretive. In a relationship, it's about being open and honest. And yes, you've got your own lives to live and you will have a certain level of privacy. But secrecy and being sneaky is completely different. And I'd actually question, what is it maybe that they're hiding? And my last red flag is gaslighting. Now, in simple terms, gaslighting is a form of manipulation where they have the ability, or so they think, to attempt to sow, or maybe even kind of sow, self-doubt and confusion into that person's mind. And with that, it can become really, really hard. And this particular warning sign might be where other people can see it, so your friends and your family, and they might be telling you, but you might not want to hear it. So there you have it. There's just some of the red flags. Now, what I do want you to do is that if you do recognise any of these warning signs, and I can assure you there are so many more, but these particular ones, the best thing that you can do is don't think that it's going to go away. Don't think that it's just a phase, but actually face it, recognise it, and kind of realise that you need to do something about it, and that is to communicate with that particular person. Now, whether the outcome is that you've made them aware of it and that they're going to change, that's great. If they keep on saying that they're going to change, then there's another warning sign, because if you've said it twice, why do we keep on needing to say it? But by you communicating means that you're taking ownership that actually you're worth it and that you should not be treated this way. And don't forget that what can happen when we are in maybe an unhealthy relationship is that our friends and family, our nearest and our dearest, can see it. And even though they might be telling it to us, we might not be hearing them, or we don't want to hear them. So yeah, maybe pay attention to those around you and just recognise and realise that you are so worth it. So worth it. You really are, even if you don't see it. Anyway, stay awesome. I'm going to see you soon, and take care. Bye, everybody.